So with XTS, it's been out since 2012, and we're continually advancing it. So one of the things that customers will look at on a traditional machine, you take advantage of the asynchronous motion. So movers can be moving differently, where you're going to have stations where you need high precision, but in a lot of cases where you've got buffer positions, or maybe like an over-under like here, you've got movers that are just returning to the bottom. So to reduce the cost, we look at, said, we want to maintain as much of the performance from, say, a speed and force standpoint, but we want a lower cost solution. So what we've done is we released the EcoLine motor module. So we took the motor module and to maintain the force and everything, we kept the coils and electronics the same, but we changed the feedback. So now on a standard XTS, we get up to like 10 micrometer repeatability. With the EcoLine, it ends up, we're at about 70 micrometer repeatability. However, we retain pretty much 95% of the performance. We lose a little bit of peak power, but not much. And then also, mover to mover distance goes from 60 millimeter pitch to a 70 millimeter pitch. But other than that, completely functional. You can mix and match them entirely with standard motor modules. And what that does now is, from a motor module standpoint, it's about 45% the cost of two standard motor modules. And then when you actually design it into a machine where you're mix and matching them, usually we'll see about a 30% reduction. And in a lot of cases, there might be some machines where you just use EcoLine for all the straights because you don't need the high precision. And then as far as, taking the cost reduction, at Beckhoff, one of the things that we always do, we're always looking to see how can we make a more cost-effective solution for our customers. So you'll have to stay tuned, but we will be announcing some other areas of our products where we're going to be doing some cost reduction designs also. So the key change basically was in the feedback. So we kept the same power electronics, and then we just made a lower resolution feedback. So there we're able to save about 45% of the cost. The other thing we did is we made it 500 millimeters long instead of 250 millimeters long. So between the combination of the feedback and making it a longer module, now we're producing one part versus two parts, one big circuit board versus two circuit boards. That was allowed us to drive out the cost of the system. Yep. So with the EcoLine, you can mix and match. We have EcoLine with and without in feeds, same way with your traditional ones. And then, like on a standard track, you can have a buffer station with an EcoLine, and then I can have standard modules, and it could be every other one or wherever you need to, have your buffer locations. They can mix and match. You can even mix and match them with NCT modules. So it gives you, with the 3 different versions of modules, you can mix and match them in the same system. Same programming software, same movers. When you look at XTS standard, it's 10 micrometer repeatability, so you get down some really precise things. But a lot of times, say I'm doing a cartoning application, I'm clamping 2 boxes. What type of accuracy you need with that? So again, the fact that we still have the same force, same clamping, same software, same motion. I can clamp that box, I can move it down. Other cases are where maybe we're moving product further distances, we're diverting it, or those type of things. There's a lot of applications when you just look at it, what type of resolution and what type of space I need on the movers, and we can size it accordingly. So really looks at like the motion and the precision you need. So when we look at it as if we're doing like say an assembly application where we need very precise ability because maybe we're making like say a medical device where we're building it up, we want very high accuracy and repeatability. Otherwise, if I'm moving a product, I'm catching it, I'm moving it, pushing it into a flow wrapper, maybe I only need 100 100 micrometer repeatability there. The EcoLine would be perfect for that.